going into 35 years. What is this all about for you?
Well, I'm probably more equipped now to talk about that and process that now, Walter, than I was as a younger coach. And I don't, whether that was a fault of mine or not. I think when you're a younger coach, you do find yourself chasing the outcomes. And maybe not all young coaches feel that way, but you get pulled towards building something that has strength, and you feel like the strength of it is just how many games you can win and how many championships that you can win. And I think as you get older, you start to understand that when you don't chase those things and that doesn't become your compass, then you actually can find yourself in those experiences more so. I think the thing that made one of the greatest impressions to me of all time was Coach Winkin, who was the former coach at Maine, and he was the NCAA regional rep for us when we played Michigan in 2007. And that was the year we were number one in the country for about 14 straight weeks. We were picked to go to Omaha. We hosted a regional for the first time, and we ended up winning the first game, losing the second game to Michigan, but we came all the way back and ended up playing them in the final game. And David Price was a kid who had not given up a home run all year. And in that particular game, as painful as it was, we put him in to pitch the final inning, and he gave up the game-winning home run to Michigan, and they went on and ended up going to the Super Regional, and that was the end of our year. Maggie and I went to breakfast the next day, and we went to breakfast with Coach Winkin, and I asked Coach, I just wanted his opinion because he's an old soul and he's very astute. And I said, Coach, give me your thoughts on what you saw. And he said, and this was tough to hear, he goes, I knew you guys were going to lose. And I said, why did you say that? He said, I could feel the pressure you were putting on the team on Thursday night during practice. And that pressure that you put on yourself and the team, I felt was going to be the thing that was going to hurt you guys and disrupt your trek. And he was right. And I never forgot that, because he said at some point in time, you're going to end up getting this opportunity again. You might end up winning it. But when you do that, it's going to be because you're more stuck in the growth of the kids rather than chasing the outcome of what potentially could exist for you guys. And he was right. I mean, he was 100% right. And I think, I think any of us who have been in these opportunities before, whether it's high school or whether it's junior college, what have you, is sometimes we get in our own way, not really intentionally doing so, because we all want to do right by the kids, but we end up getting in their way just because of our own emotions and what we're giving off to them when we're thrust into those environments for the first time. So I think what I've learned, and much to what you started this with, was Maggie just making sense of that, saying, listen, if you're in this only to win the last game, she goes, you're going to die a very frustrated man. You've got to find other things inside of what you're doing that are more fulfilling than being the last team. She says there's 300 teams. There's only one team that's going to win it all. So you have to understand that it's going to be about the process. If you don't feel it's about the process, then you might as well get out of the game right now and do something else, because you're going to drive yourself crazy. And she was 100% right. Now, I know it's difficult to do. I mean, I can talk about that with clarity right now because we're not in the season of competition. But the reality is I can handle that thought process of doing that during this time a whole lot better than I could even 2 years ago, Walter. I mean, it's with age, and it's like anything else. You do it enough, then you start to understand that, what the hell was I doing? It's like, I think all you want to do is create an environment and facilitate an environment that the kids can grow from. And if you're getting in the way of it, then you got to ask yourself, then I got to do it better. I got to reevaluate what I'm doing, and I got to give our guys a better opportunity to do this. So it really made a lot of sense to me.